Your body bang, bang, your body bang, 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 your body bang, bang.
Hi, thanks for joining us. This is the World News on Television Nigerian. I am Priscilla Iwer. There have been fresh protests in eastern Johannesburg, with the protesters demanding that foreigners must go back to where they came from. During the fresh attacks, one person was being reported dead, while 5 others were injured. The nationality of the dead had not been known as at the time of filing this report. It began after a speech in the commercial hub Johannesburg by a veteran politician who was trying to quell tensions over xenophobia. Mangosuthu Buthelezi has heckled by a rowdy section of the crowd on Sunday, who later clashed with security forces. The police South African had confirmed renewed violence in Johannesburg, according to the South African Broadcasting Corporation. Russia's ruling United Russia Party has suffered major losses in Sunday's election to the Moscow City Parliament. Results show that the party lost nearly a third of the seats in the 45-member parliament, but remains on course to retain its majority with about 26 seats. With most opposition candidates disqualified, the Communist Independents and others gained seats. The exclusion of the opposition candidates triggered mass protests, while thousands of people have been detained and riot police have been accused of a brutal crackdown on demonstrators. Robert Mugabe's nephew, Leo Mugabe, has said the former Zimbabwean leader died a very bitter man, adding that the former Zimbabwean leader was greatly saddened by the betrayal he suffered from his close and trusted associates, guards and attendants, and how tainted his legacy. Mugabe, who died at the age of 95 last week, led Zimbabwe for nearly 4 decades until he was ousted by a coup in 2017 after he fired his deputy, with many fearing he was preparing for his wife, Grace Mugabe, to succeed him. Initially praised for broadening access to health and education for the black majority, Mugabe later used violence against his political opponents and presided over Zimbabwe's economy ruin. The long-serving president's legacy has been the subject of fierce debate since he died. Warplanes have struck positions of Iran-backed militias near Syria's border with Iraq, activists say. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based monitoring group, said at least 18 Iranian and pro-Iranian fighters were killed. It was not clear who carried out the overnight strikes in and around the town of Abu Kamal, but Israel was carried out hundreds of attacks on Iranian-linked targets in Syria during the country's civil war. It has sought to thwart what calls Iran's